There we go.
We're back.
We're back.
There we are.
All right. Boom. All right. Welcome back to the Daily Traders podcast. This is episode number 20.
Yeah.
Very
20.
special
Wow.
episode. I'm your host, Mark. This is my co-host, Jack. And
What's up,
today,
everyone?
we have another guest.
PB
Second guest in a row.
Yeah.
PB and J. Sorry.
PB Investing. How you doing?
PB Investing.
I'm good, man. How about you guys? Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Yeah. So,
course.
okay. You're 15. You've had an enormous amount of success in the market. You've been trading for 2.5 years. You have verified brokerage statements. So, like, you're legit. Just to preface this, because you're very young and it's hard to believe for some people, you know. I like how we're covering the spectrum here. We have a 15-year-old on right now, and then in the last episode, we had a trader who's been trading for 43 years.
Yeah.
So we're covering the basis. And I think you've got a cool story, and it's definitely an inspiring story, just seeing where you're at. So let's kick it off.
Yeah. First off, when did you start trading?
So I actually started when I was 12 and a half years old, and I kind of got into it from, I started drop shipping. And as a kid, I've always been trying to look for ways to make money, and I've always had that drive inside of me. But then I started drop shipping, and then I was just, scrolling on my TikTok one day, and I wasn't doing too good drop shipping. Did it for about a month. Knew it wasn't for me. I was just scrolling on TikTok, and I saw a trading video, and then I was like, this kid made like 10K, blah blah blah. So I was like, let me check this out, bro. That's crazy. So then I went on YouTube. I searched it up, and that whole night I was just doing research on stocks and stuff like that. And then the day after, I told my parents, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. They supported me on the way. But yeah, I was 12 and a half, so 2.5 years ago.
Nice. How'd you I get so many DMs. I see so many comments. Hey, I'm 13. Hey, I'm 17. How do I get started trading when I'm younger than 18? So for all the viewers out there who are asking this question, how do you get started at such a young age trading?
Yeah. So as far as opening up an account, you can actually go on TD Ameritrade and open up an account if you're under 18 under a custodial account. So to all kids out there that say you have to be 18, it's totally legal. Just open up a custodial account. And as far as, getting started at a young age, it definitely was hard, but I'd say everyone has the time. Like if you go on a kid's phone, they probably have hours and hours on TikTok, on Snapchat, on all these apps. But, instead I just put that time to trading and gaining of knowledge, getting screen time, journaling my trades, stuff like that.
That's big, bro.
Dang. So obviously you're still in school. How's trading in school? Is that like annoying?
Yeah, it's so annoying, dude. Like today I got my phone taken away while in a trade. I was like,
What?
I know, man. I think I had, I don't know. It was like I was in a small scalp. I had a few thousand in SPY, a QQQ calls, and then I was down like $100, and I came back up a few $100. But I read them out. I made like 700, but that's crazy, But yeah, it's definitely it gets annoying at times, and stressful sometimes because you're like, do I have to take a test? I'm gonna trade. What am I gonna do? And then like, yeah, but I try and just hide it in the back of class, or I'll go to the bathroom stall or something, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very
So
relatable.
are you trading on your phone in class?
Yeah, I bring my laptop sometimes, but most of the time it's on my phone because you can't have your laptop out at all times, and it's easier to hide a phone.
Yeah, so I take it you do a pretty extensive pre-market routine, finding your levels, what you're looking at, and then once you see that happen or play out on your phone, then you enter the trade.
Yeah. So I can kind of go over my routine, but
Yeah, please do.
pre-market's pretty hard for me because getting ready for school. So I actually do it after market close around 7 to 8 at night. Before I sleep, I go through like 20 to 30 charts. I chart out my levels based on what I think is going to happen the next day. And I always chart out a bullish and a bearish pivot because you never know. And it's about not predicting the move, but reacting to what happens as far as in a technical basis. So basically what I do is I chart out my pivots the night before, and then intraday, if I get a 5-minute confirmation, which that means, I'll break out above it with a 5-minute candle close above it, etc. That's kind of when I like to enter. But my routine kind of goes as, I'll just chart my levels the day before, unless there's like a huge economic event like FOMC, CPI, something like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Do you want to go over your trading strategy? Because clearly there's tons of ways to trade inside of the stock market. So you are a day trader, correct?
Yeah. Usually I'm a day trader. Sometimes I do some overnight swings.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So do you
Yeah,
trade
but
based off mainly technicals, fundamentals? Give us a little idea as to how you
yeah,
trade.
sure. So I can kind of go over, what my ideal setup is, what I like to trade off of. But I'm a 100% technical trader, and that's just what I like for me. And especially in this market, it's hard to hold something because I mean you never know. It's just chop and then down and then a little bounce and right back down. But as far as for me, like there's a few of my favorite setups, but some indicators I like to use are the parabolic SAR, the VWAP, and the 9 EMA. But obviously price action is better than all of them. So my ideal setup would be like a say a stock's at $101. Psychological support is going to be $100, obviously. So you know, once it gets under $100, and if it's under the VWAP with the red SAR, then I'll usually like to enter on a 5 minute candle close under the level, and then I kind of scalp the puts through the trade, and then if I'm up like 20%, I'll put my stop loss at break even, trim some, and yeah, stuff like that. But mostly I do pivot breaks, and sometimes I scalp off the VWAP. Like if the stock's under VWAP and then it gets back above VWAP, I'll wait for a 5 minute close and then buy calls because the VWAP is obviously, the average trading price of the day. So that's obviously always going to be a pretty big level for, the buyers and sellers to react off of.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite indicators.
What's the size you trade with if you're comfortable sharing?
Yeah, for sure. Usually it's around, 2 to 5K a play. And that's just, what I found comfort to do it. I can drop, 10, 20 in a trade, but it's just, like I'm better at managing my emotions with that lower size. And what I personally like to do is like take little accounts to big, take out some money or something, or, just don't trade it thin, do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Scale up, obviously.
I have a question for you. What's the most amount of money you've ever made while trading inside of class in high school?
And like a single trade?
Yeah, single trade.
I think it was like 10,000.
10,000 just trading class.
Yeah, around that probably.
What was
Yeah.
So when you make, it's hard to contain your emotions when you're trading, especially when you make a big win. I definitely like get pretty excited when I pull a 5-figure trade. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, are you like jumping in the back of the classroom, throwing your arms up? Like, are you just
No.
chilling?
But one time like I posted it actually, and like a kid came up to me and he's like, "Kid, bro, you just made $10,000. What the heck? How'd you do that? Can you teach me?" But I try and tame myself at school because like I don't really like people knowing what I do. But obviously, like one time my teachers have came up to me and like, "Bro, can you please teach me how to do this?" I was like, "If you want to hook me up with the class grade, I got you."
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's asked me that, but I didn't say that.
Oh, bro, that would have been the perfect scenario to play that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I try to tame myself for sure.
Good, bro. Keep it humble. Oh yeah, my next question was gonna be like being in school. High school's so weird, man. I mean, I graduated like 2 years ago. I graduated early, and high schoolers are making $8 an hour, and they're using their parents' credit card. You are clearly financially independent. What and people know you're big on Twitter. Like, so are people constantly coming up to you asking you how to trade? And what do you do? Because everyone wants to. So many people have asked Mark and I how to trade to teach them personally. But it's like, and that's one of the reasons why we created the mentorship, or why he created the mentorship group, and why I joined. Like, what do you say to people when they say, "Hey, can you teach me how to trade? Can you teach me how to trade?"
I just say, I'm not a financial advisor. Just follow me on Twitter. I give so much free education. And by the way, my Twitter is PB Investing. But like a funny story, one time I was in the bathroom. This was last year, and I was a freshman, and I still had some followers. And this kid was like, "Yo, bro, if I give you $1,000 to trade with, you can have 20% of the profit." And there was like 3 seniors surrounding me, and I was like in a small bathroom. I was like, "You know what, man? I'm gonna think about it. Maybe." And I just walked out.
Yes.
But I get asked that all
That's
the
a
time.
funny question. Yeah, people have asked me to manage their money too.
All the time.
Oh, it happens all the time. I'm like, I
All the
legally can't do that.
Even family,
Really? Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, okay, last couple weeks, recap. How's your trading been? How much have you made? Market's been tough. I've had trouble, but
sure.
have hung in there.
In the last 2 days, I've made 7,200. Yesterday, I had a really, really good trade. Last week, I think it was a slightly red week. I'm not sure the exact amount. The week before, I had a pretty good week, a few thousand. And actually, a few weeks back, I made 12K in a week. So it's been a pretty good, last few weeks. And you know what I'd say to anybody who's not doing too well right now is like these marketing conditions are super, super hard. Like if you're putting in the work right now and you're studying at night and you're putting those countless hours in, when we get on our next bull run, you're gonna make a lot of money. So, just stick to it. But yeah, definitely had a great few weeks, $7,000 in the last 2 days, $12,000 week a few weeks ago.
I love it. That's inspiring. Yeah, I was gonna say like, because obviously you didn't start trading that night that you were binging YouTube looking into
No.
trading. How long did it take until you started winning? Because you kind of timed it right with the COVID bull run in like 2020.
Yeah. So
how
it's like,
how long were you
go
losing
ahead.
for, and then when did you start winning?
Yeah. So actually, like I don't know about you guys, but personally, I blew a few accounts when I started, and it was definitely pretty tough. It's funny, like so I started right. I started with a few $1,000s. It was most of my money, some of my dad's, and because my dad, like when I told him about it, he was like, "Yeah, I'm sure if you want, we can try it out." And he got me in with his friend that trades stocks for like a living. Like he's a very good day trader, and he told me to download Twitter, and he told me to follow these group of people. So that's kind of how I kind of made my way into the whole Twitter FinTwit space. But as far as like when did I could become profitable? So my first ever trade, I put the whole account in it because like I didn't know,
Yeah.
and I made like $10,000.
What?
There was an
Dang.
OTC play, it went up 300%. Like my dad's friend told me to buy it. So then, yeah, I made $10,000. And then the last trade, the same thing. I put it all in the trade. I lost all of it. So that was the
There
first
you go.
loan account. It sucked.
Yeah. Did you
But
ever have that moment? Like I remember starting out, like I, would make 20% on a trade. I think about, okay, if I make 20%, 20 times in a row, I'm going to make this much money. And it's like, you think you can
yeah,
make,
of course.
you think you're going to get rich so quick, but then it's like you lose a position and then you're actually down. And it's so easy to get carried away and thinking like how much money you're going to make.
Yeah,
But it's,
they say one step forward, three steps backwards. But as far as like becoming profitable and that, I think it was about a year and a half of struggling, learning from my mistakes, journaling my trades, you know, um, doing it again and again, and keep seeing what I'm doing wrong and just taking out my flaws and sticking to the pros. But yeah, it took me about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah,
As far as like a
little bit.
psychological standpoint, what have you done to strengthen your mind to get to where you are, to deal with the losses and the stress and the pressure that comes along with trading?
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously I'm still new to trading. I've only been trading for 2.5 years, but psychologically, I kind of train myself to act like a robot and to be comfortable to take a loss, and like when I'm having a bad day, I train myself to, not to over trade, but instead take a step away from the computer, relax, chill out, see what I did wrong and stuff like that. But definitely emotions are the most like I'd say managing your emotions is one of the top three most important things in trading because not managing them is basically how you blow an account and yeah, they're super super crucial if you want to be successful and you have a proper trading strategy.
Mhm.
So you started journaling your trades. When did you start doing that? Was that after you kind of blew up your account and you're like, wow, this
Yeah.
is not as easy as I thought it was. Now I actually have to learn how to trade because that beginner's luck
Yeah.
only lasts so long.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they say beginner's luck, boom, you go down. This is your average journey. Beginner's luck. You go on down a little bit, you go up, you get your hopes up, you hit bottom, and then it's there, up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's either you give up and fail, or right before you want to give up, you go right back up. But yeah, so I got into journaling my trade because a very big inspiration of mine, amazing trader, he's in his 20s, makes like a lot of money, like I'm talking like 5 6 figure days on the daily. And he told me number one tip he can give me is after you make a mistake or after your first few months of trading, go over all your trades, journal them as far as what time do I usually win the most? What tickers do I play that I win the most? What setups do I usually win the most on? What do I usually lose the most on? Cut out the ones you lose the most on, keep the ones you win most on off on. And by that, it'll help you become more consistent and profitable because you're playing what works for you. And after you do that, you got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And to your point earlier about, I can make 20% a day, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to shit this out there. So if you have $10,000 if you make 2% a day for one trading year, which that's not reasonable. No one's
That's
gonna
not
be,
even possible.
yeah,
Compounded,
it's not
that's like
possible.
that's thousands of percent.
Yeah, it's literally 1.6 million or over 1.3 million dollars, which I'm not saying it's impossible to be it's impossible to basically be green a whole year, but those little base hits, they add up, really do. And by taking those base hits, you'll put yourself in the position to hit those home runs.
Yeah, I like that. That was
Yeah.
really well said.
I mean, that plays into like risk management too, because I remember one of my biggest flaws when I started trading was that, I was putting on 20, 50. It depends on the trade and what's your risk tolerance on a trade. Like if you're trading risky out the money option contracts that expire that day, you shouldn't be putting 20% of your account on that position. It should be
No, never.
like it should be like a 1 to 5% allocation depending on your how confident you are in the setup of the trade. But it's like, yeah, like you said, it's those base hits that add up, and it's not about making 50% of 50% of your portfolio. It's about making 50% on 5% of your portfolio, and
Exactly.
slowly it adds
Risking
up.
less to make more.
Yeah,
You can risk 1% of your account to make 5% of your account. Your risk to reward is 5 there. I mean, that's amazing.
yeah.
So do you change based off your setups? Your higher expectancy setups. Do you size heavier on those, or do you
Like,
stick with the same size per position?
Sort of. Like if I'm playing a 0 DTE, I'm gonna size less than if I'm playing a weekly or something, which that's what I usually play. I play 0 DTEs and weeklies just because that's what I found worked for me. But I'd say they do. Like if I'm just taking a little scalp, I'll go with lighter size. But if I have high conviction on a trade and it's like my favorite A plus setup, it's right at that resistance, it wants to break out, buyers are showing up on the tape, it's over the VWAP, then yeah, I'll size heavy into that trade. One thing I found is huge. If everyone's never play anything that's overcrowded and like think of like a hedge fund. Like this is a game of when someone's winning, someone else is losing. You have to kind of think in the fact like how would they want people to lose money? What would they do to make people lose money and kind of think like a hedge fund manager and one of these big algorithms, Like if 99% of people are thinking this thing, do the opposite. That's usually what's going to work because they don't want people to make money.
Yeah, and the same thing when it comes to like putting a stop. When you set your stop, obviously set it a couple cents below where everyone else is going to get stopped out.
Exactly.
Just kind of the basics, but it's a very good point. All right, let's kind of switch the topic up. Okay, you're making this money. What do you spend it on?
Yeah, so I actually save most of it, reinvest it back into the markets. But I've bought a few things. I've some nice clothes, shoes.
No Lambos.
I actually have a PB chain. No Lambos. Yeah, I can't drive.
Yeah, what happens? Because how much longer until you're 16?
I turned 16 in May.
Okay, cool. Let's see your chain.
PB. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see it.
I can see it.
Oh no, it's backwards.
Nice.
Nah,
How much was that?
Yeah,
That's sick.
it was a few grand.
Nice. That's funny.
Solid. Any watches? No Rolexes?
No, not yet.
Not yet. I like it. Smart to save money. And, the thing is, like, you'll go through periods, swings in your trading, year after year. You'll have bad years. You'll have down years. So it's important you build up your war chest. And you save as much as you can when you're doing well. And then when you're not doing well, you don't have to get stressed. You have a net to fall back into.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, like I usually just reinvest a lot of it back into the market, back into my trade, and just keep it in my account because I'm trying to get my account to the highest I want to get it to. And this is the time for us to take risks. Even you guys, we're young. We don't have that much that we need to like necessarily. How can I explain it? Like we don't have kids to take care of. And,
like financial obligations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're really like we can take those risks, and we're in the position to take a risk because why wouldn't we? So yeah, I'm just trying to compound my gains, and I don't need to spend money. So why would I right now? Why wouldn't I just keep stacking it?
Nice, love that. What are your trading goals in the next year in terms of how growing to your account to what size or making a certain percent?
Yeah. So my goal is hopefully 7 figures. Multiple 7 figures by the time I'm a senior in high school, and my goal for the time I'm 16 is multiple 6 figures in my account.
Nice.
Yeah. So you plan on just building your account? Are you going to hit a point where you're like, all right, there's plenty of capital to trade with. I'm just going to go buy a Lambo.
You and your Lambos, man.
But yeah, eventually you got to be like, all right, this is enough. Like, I'm going to stop scaling my account. Or are you just going to keep scaling up to $1 million?
I want to get to the point where like my stop loss is like a G-Wagon. Like
I like that.
That's sick. I love that.
That's amazing.
That's
Like
actually
think
dope.
about it, but your stop loss is a G-Wagon, but your profit is a
House.
Aventador or
Yeah,
a
like a
Bugatti.
straight up house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll get there. You know, you've got 5 years on me.
Mhm.
So when you're 20, I have no doubt.
Mhm.
Thank you, man.
How do you feel being in school? Because it's like we bottom line is we go to school to get into college or what we're supposed to think. Go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, which is the whole bottom line of that is to make money, right? We get a good job so we can make good money, have a
F
comfortable living.
that.
But you're already doing that. So like how do
Yeah.
you feel in school? Are
Yeah.
you like, screw this,
So,
I don't even care? Or your parents like, man, you
my
gotta
parents, they make me have like all A's or I can't trade. So I've always had like good. I've always had good grades though. Like it comes easy to me. I whatever I'll do this that. But I'm straight on going to college. But I do have to make a certain amount of money to not go to college,
Can you
and
say?
have multiple revenue streams.
Is there a
It's in the
goal?
millions.
Okay.
Is this with your parents, like a agreed upon goal?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
They're like, okay, we
But
won't.
yeah, they support me, and they said like, okay, you have to have this goal. You have to have real estate. You have to have a business. You have to have, they've worked very hard for me to be in the place that I'm in right now, and they just want to see me succeed. So I don't really blame them at all. But yeah, you guys go to college?
Nope.
I did. I went for a semester and then I dropped out. Yeah, I was like, I can make money
What does
trading.
your parents think?
My mom was supportive. My dad was kind of like, "You're an idiot. What are you doing?" And then, I don't know. I think they started seeing like the money coming in, and now they're definitely like, "Okay, like I get it now."
You got the Tesla, and they're like, all right.
But I mean, it wasn't just a Tesla. It was more like, like I said, it's like you go to college to get a good career to make good money. But if I'm already making good money, why do I need to go to college? And it took a bit to get through their heads, but I think they're on my side now.
I mean, yeah, I don't really want to start a controversy or anything, but there's definitely a lot of factors that I disagree with in college in terms of like, okay, this guy is teaching you how to run a business when he's a school teacher.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no offense, but how are you going to teach how? And like, okay, in math right now, I'm learning like stupid stuff like y is greater than or equal to a and blah 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 blah. Like, all right, you guys know, do we need that in the real world? Does that stuff matter? Algebra
No.
two.
It was like a TikTok trend, like another day I haven't used y equals mx plus b.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, but no, it's true. I mean, college is a little different because if you go to a good school, I went to a pretty good school, and my focus was in business, and the professors were actual entrepreneurs, guys who've retired and then they moved into education. So college is a little different, but in terms of high school, like your business teacher, he doesn't own his own business, or I guess your math teacher knows a good amount about math, but do you really need to know calculus to succeed in life? I don't know.
Yeah, like, you need to know like 9 times 52 to the second power times x tangent. Like, I mean,
So-
we have our phones.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was terrible in math, which is funny. Everyone's like, oh, you're bad in math in high school, but look what you're doing, trading. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you have calculators, you have softwares you can use. Like, you don't need to be good at math, or depending on what you're doing. Like, are you good at math?
Are you good at math?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't necessarily like try in school. Like, to be honest, like I don't even like pay attention too much because I'm just always trading or on my phone and getting my phone taken and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess you can say I'm good at math. But
I asked
I don't
that
think
because
I don't think that matters in trading.
yeah, I asked that because I know there's a lot of people out there who might get discouraged and be like, this is not something I'm good at. And people associate math with trading. And so they get discouraged and they're like, all right, I'm not going to have any shot at having success trading because I'm not good at like one of these fundamental cores of trading, which is kind of math.
Trading's like its own subject.
It is.
Yeah. I'd say school smart is like different than business smart.
Yeah.
I think stocks is part of business smart.
Oh, 100%. We were in New York City up in one of the World Trade Center buildings, and like to the right of us was this guy who owned like 2 hedge funds, an insurance company, and a brokerage. And he was probably one of the most motivated, successful guys, worth a couple hundreds of millions of dollars. But he wasn't, he couldn't tell me about the French War or how to find the cotangent of y. Like,
Yeah.
These guys who are wildly successful in business, they're not necessarily book smart. There's a different type of intelligence that goes into this world of business, and it's not
Yeah, I mean,
advanced math.
my dad, like, he came to the US with $0, and his parents are from Iraq, and he had to literally work for his family. He didn't even go to I don't even think he finished college. But now obviously now he worked his whole college, even in middle school, he was working day in and day out. He got to support his family by himself, working at shops, and then he's now a very successful entrepreneur that opened businesses. And it shows that hard work beats school smarter, I guess.
Yeah.
True.
What do you think about surrounding yourself with other successful people? I know that's hard being in school, all these kids, but do you try, at least online on Twitter?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's actually very important. Like, if I surround myself with 5 people that are, like, going out to parties every night and doing all this bad stuff, they're gonna influence you. Like, hey man, try this, or hey, let's go out tonight. But if you surround yourself with people that are trying to get to the same goals that you're at, or trying to learn about what you're learning, or are at a career where you want to be, people that are making millions and millions of dollars, then I think that obviously is going to influence you, and they're going to have a positive mentorship effect onto you.
Mm, totally. So do all of your teachers know that you are this, kind of big shot trader, 15-year-old kid?
I wouldn't say all, but I'd say, yeah, definitely a lot of them. Like, they've seen my Twitter posts, they've showed me my own videos, they've even commented
They've commented.
like hey, like, one of them commented hey on my post. They're like, yeah, definitely, bro. I was like, okay.
Interesting.
Have you ever gotten any hate from kids, bullied, or anything like
Oh
that?
yeah. I mean, I get hundreds of hate comments every single day to see my DMs.
Oh my god, dude, you should see our DMs.
Insane. But online's different than in person. And it's being different. People don't like people who are different in school.
No.
Yeah, actually, I have. People are like, huh, PB, so you made $12,000 this week. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I'm like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right, man. I didn't make that much. I'm lying.
They're just jealous of your success.
Yeah, no, that's really all it is.
Wait, like people think you're capping?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's
That's-
hard to
that's
believe,
crazy.
and it's easier for someone to believe that you're lying than realizing that you're actually that successful, because it'll make them feel bad because they're not.
I
doing
use the
it.
hate to motivate me. It helps me
There
to
you
do
go.
more, and it helps me to, like, I'm like, I know myself. I don't really care what people say about me. Like, I really don't. Like, I can, I just hate. I take the hate, I put it all in the garbage, and I just focus on the good.
I like it. So beyond trading your own account, do you have any future thoughts about maybe starting a hedge fund or working for a firm or anything beyond that? No?
You don't want to manage other
No.
people's money?
No, I rather do what I'm doing and manage my own money. How about you guys? Curious.
I mean, so I think over the last couple of years, my mindset has shifted where I'm like, I don't think I could handle the stress of managing other people's money. And maybe it's partially due to the fact that I post all my trades and I'm transparent in that way. And I have to kind of put myself on the line. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And so I'm like, all right, slowly but surely, my mind is shifting into a point where I could probably manage, larger capital from other people.
Yeah. Sorry, you
Yeah,
go.
go ahead. Sorry.
My goal is to shift into real estate. That's been my passion ever since. I own an investment property. So my goal is I've been saving up. My trading portfolio will go into my real estate because the real estate market is crashing, and we're seeing huge decreases in residential home and commercial properties.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm definitely going to get into real estate once I'm able to. But let me ask you something. Would you make more money, owning a hedge fund or working at a firm, or trading by yourself?
That's a good point. It just depends how much
Yeah, it
capital.
depends.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're managing, because a lot of funds work off a 220, so there's a 2% management fee, and then they take 20% of all the profits. So if you're managing a $2 billion fund, that's
true.
$40 million in just before you even start trading.
Yeah, and to do
So,
that,
yeah.
you have to build a track record over years and years of consistency, because you might find something that works for a couple of years, and then eventually it'll stop working, and you're gonna have to find something else that works. And you gotta constantly, market's constantly changing. You gotta constantly be, adapting to the market. Do you think what you're doing now is gonna work in a year or two?
No, because the market runs in cycles, and I think that, just have to adapt to the market conditions as they move on. But like I'm definitely gonna, trading is not gonna be just like my only source of income. I'm gonna, open up businesses and real estate and all that stuff as well as I get older.
Yeah, that's why you got to keep saving up your money. Um,
It's tough being 15 because you can't, you can't go and buy real estate right now because you can't even start your own LLC. You can't even open up your own business banking account. So,
Well, like I have an LLC, but it's like it's complicated with my lawyer.
yeah, I was gonna say, how does that work?
Yeah.
It's like it's under like a guardian's name, but the income goes to me. It's very complicated, but I don't think you can do real estate at 15.
No.
I was gonna ask, how do you like taxes? I'm assuming you're paying taxes.
Yeah. So most of the money, as I said, I keep in my bank account. But from what I have paid, I just have my, dad and his accountant handle all that stuff. But I think it's around 30-40%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's high. Capital gains tax is high.
Brutal.
Mhm.
But you're trading under an LLC?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That's
have an
smart.
LLC.
Okay, good. I want to take a break and do some notes.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. And we're back. Okay. We're going to read some comments. We were talking about hate online. We thought it'd be fun to read some hate comments.
Yeah, why not? Cheer you up.
So our TikTok, PB's Twitter. You want to kick it off, PB?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, sure. So I got first one. How this perm scammer paper trader kid makes $6,500 every single day in his underwear.
That's a good one. That's a thought in that.
I don't have a perm, by the way, guys. But yeah.
That was gonna be my follow-up question. That's funny.
Yeah,
These are good.
I always joke, but it's like if I'm like down, like if I'm having a bad day, I just go on TikTok and read the comments because they're hilarious.
Yeah, some of them are like funny. How like bent people get. All right.
Our thing is rented. Everyone says everything's rented. My cars are rented, and they're not, obviously. But we get like this
Ask
one.
them where's their G wagon?
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
What color is your G-Wagon?
Someone said rented sunlight.
Sunlight?
Rented sunlight.
It's become a joke. Now it's just like people will comment like rented air, rented office. Well, yeah, obviously we rent the office. Rented like rented paint color. I don't even know. Like it's just an inside joke.
All right, here's another one.
It's a good one.
Okay, I bet you get these. This guy in quotations, like okay, ready? Dad, my trading account is empty again.
Angry emoji.
Oh yeah, I got a few of those yesterday. Like one of them says, at PB Investing, very easy when your daddy funds your account, which does not fund my account. And he goes, you're a fake guru, little kid. 15-year-old kid. No one would listen to for your market experience. Why does everyone praise you?
That's funny because it's like people who are negative. I mean, it's like fun. It's funny for us to kind of go and read those, but you're not going to be like if you're hating on someone and you're looking at the bad in people, like you're not going to be successful yourself. How could you be a successful trader?
Have you ever met a hater doing better than you?
No. Exactly. Yeah,
That's true.
That's a
really good point.
You just spit some facts.
Big facts. Do you have another comment?
Oh yeah, I mean I can go ahead right here.
There's plenty.
This
We can do a whole
said,
episode doing this.
Yeah.
This guy quoted my video and goes, guys, the bottom is definitely not in. Like, I don't know if you guys get it or not. Like,
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, these kids, like...
Yeah. How often are people asking you, like, how to trade? Because so many people are like, oh, like, the market's down. Should I buy now?
Yeah. So in the last 24 hours, I've gotten, like, 40 DMs of people asking, like, do I have a Discord? How can I do this? How could I, how do I trade? Stuff like that.
The sponsor of
It's very
this
hard for me to get
episode.
back to 'em.
Guess who's sponsoring this episode?
Oh God.
TheDailyTraders.com. First link in the description if you want to learn how to trade and see my trades. Little plug.
Smooth.
We don't have a
going.
sponsor. Right, that was Sly.
Sly. What do you got, Mark?
I'm like scrolling here.
I see a lot. So I run the podcast account, and I see a lot of bros are just talking.
Fake. Like, we get a lot of those.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah, paper trader.
yeah, I love arguing with people in the comments.
Doesn't
It's
make
so
any
much
money
fun.
from trading.
Yeah.
I used to just block them.
Yeah,
There's too many to block.
yeah, it's good for engagement too.
Personality of cornflakes.
I think overall though, what this all summarize, we've talked about this before, is that like you got to take these and again like get inspiration, get some sort of a dopamine out of these in a way. You got to keep it positive,
All right, if you had a choice between a yacht and a private
Oh, I
jet,
forgot about this.
which one would you choose? Yacht or jet?
I'd choose a jet and just rent a yacht.
Jet,
Really?
right? Right? That's what I said. We've had this poll with everyone who's been
But
on.
how about both?
You can only choose one.
Yeah,
Oh, private jet.
All right, why?
Because I mean, you're gonna get a lot more use out of a private jet. I mean, I'd want to travel the world and see different places, not just sit and watch the water. I guess. Which yachts are amazing, but I'd rather go and explore the world.
dude. I mean, you can explore the world on a yacht, my man. So I'm gonna stick with.
This guy wants
I
a
mean,
yacht.
I'm
If
sticking.
you're
to
gonna
yacht.
go deep into the ocean, it's gonna take you a lot more time on a yacht than on a jet.
Well, it's pretty easy to charter a jet. You know what I mean?
No, you need your own jet.
I don't know. maybe
Anyways, the new jet versus yacht counter is now 4 for jets and 3 for yachts. So
Let's go.
it was 50-50.
Thank you.
Oh, we forgot to ask Chris.
Jets are now winning.
We forgot to
didn't
ask Chris.
we'll have him on again. We'll
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back.
Interesting.
Do you have any cars you want to buy? Dream cars?
Yeah, I mean, I really like AMGs, Lamborghini Huracans, Ferrari F8s. I'm a big car guy, actually. I love Mercedes, but I think for my first car, I'm gonna get a BMW X6.
Nice.
That'd be sick. I almost got a XM3 or X3M,
Those are sick.
and then Tesla spoke to me.
When do you get your license? 16?
Yeah. So I guess it's in like 7 months.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Nice.
There you go.
So I have my permit right now. I'm driving, but
Who knows? You might just do really well over the next 7 months, and you can just go buy
Buy a Lambo?
Yeah.
Dude, you might have some
I'm gonna
Lambos
chill with
that
the Lambo thing.
mention.
that'd be crazy.
You want to give some advice to traders out there?
Yeah, how about like
Tips
kids
you've learned?
kids older, younger than you, kind of seeing where you are, wanting to be there? What if you could give them one piece of advice? What would you say?
The most important piece of advice I'd say is stick to the process. And although you're not seeing gains right now, I mean, it takes a doctor 8+ years of college to learn how to be a doctor. And how much tuition they have to pay, hundreds and thousands of dollars of tuition. Just because you're losing money in the market, I mean, that's their market tuition. You're not going to get it right away. Even if it takes you 2 years, if it takes you 4 years, it takes a doctor 8 years of spending money to learn how to do it. And then obviously it pays off.
That's
not
that's a very good way. I like how you put that.
Yeah, I actually had like a quote I put on Instagram that I believe I saw this on Twitter, and I reposted it. And because I have like my own personal Twitter account that I just keep my like friends and my pre-market routine. But it was, people will spend 4 years going to college and never, I think you've heard this, never once think about giving up. But they will spend 3 months trading and give up because they're not a millionaire.
Exactly. It's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's gonna take years.
But you're self-taught.
Exactly.
You didn't have a mentor, right?
I had a mentor.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I had a mentor. I met him off TikTok. I saw him, selling a course on TikTok, and then I signed up for it, and then I learned a lot from him.
Okay, cool. But you've obviously had to figure out your own thing because
yeah,
you
for
can't
sure.
copy.
He's more or less just advice, tips.
Okay. I always say it's hard, even if someone does exactly what I do, it's not necessarily going to work for them. Everyone's very different. Based on
You
your
can make some money
personality.
here and there, but I'd say the more value that you offer is in mentorship, because you can teach them how to, find their own strategies and find their own success.
Yeah.
Cool.
And learn a skill you're going to have for the rest of your life, which I'm sure you'll still be doing this in 40 years because it seems like you really love it. You have to be passionate about it too. You can't just do it for the money. You have to enjoy trading.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're not going to last.
Yeah, I mean, imagine where 10 years you can trade for 5 minutes and make a year's salary.
It's true. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The potential of trading is like one of the most insane careers.
Yeah, and I think everyone should give it a shot. Because if not, you're just going to be you're going to regret it. You're going to look back and think about the opportunity and, what you could have made of
Most people
yourself.
close their mind of it because people are like, it's gambling, it's this, it's straight lottery. But I mean, it's only gambling if you're not using calculated risk. You can't go to the casino and calculate how much you're going to lose on a bet.
Yeah.
You're losing it all or you're making it all. But trading, you can lose 2% of your money or make 4% of your money. even if you have a 50-50 win rate, you're still making money.
Do you know what your win rate is off the top of your head, like just basis?
I think in the last 2 weeks, it's around 60-70%, and
Okay.
my profit factor is around 2.3.
Okay.
Okay.
Solid.
So 1 to 3, 1.2, 1 to 2. Wait, no, what is it? It's I forgot, but yeah.
You're good.
Sorry.
Well, hey, we're kind of getting to the end of the episode. I think a good note to end it on would be, do you actually, I mean, first I should probably ask, do you like read any books? I know I started reading a bunch of trading books and that definitely helped. What about you?
You know what? I haven't actually. I read one book. It's called like 24 Tips for Investors. But the most education I've learned is from, trial and error and from YouTube videos. Just looking up simple like interviews with people live trading, just reading support and resistance. Educational stuff like that.
Yeah, people always ask me where to start. I said like YouTube is your best friend.
Yeah,
Like,
YouTube has everything you need.
Like get your degree from YouTube. Like you can learn so much on YouTube. It's actually insane the amount of free education that's out there and how accessible it is. You can literally look up how to trade a mean reversion strategy, and you'll get thousands of videos on like a bunch of different mean reversion strategies.
I think the problem is that
Yeah,
there's
it's
just
crazy.
so much information
Exactly,
that
yeah.
people just get lost in this whirlpool of information and misinformation too.
Yeah.
So you need some direction, but it's a good place to start.
Yeah, which is why mentorship groups are so powerful. Like you enrolled in one, we own one, and we're creating a new one that will be 10 times better than the one we have right now. Because it kind of just expedites that whole process of exploration and trial and error because it gives you a direct path, kind of like a curriculum in a course, right?
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
cool.
you could learn on your own. It might take 5 years. You can learn with a mentor, and it'll take a year or two.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure. It's why I also emphasize it on it as well. It's very important, and it's definitely great to have a few because everyone has a different thought process, and I'm sure you guys are killing it. So keep it up.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, bro. Well, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Hell yeah, this has been a good podcast. I want to have you back on in person when we get the studio set up.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to talk about.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, PB, your Twitter, want to shout that out. We'll put the link in the description for you guys
For
listening.
sure. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm gonna start my YouTube soon.
Nice.
Awesome.
PB Investing.
All right. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and we will see you in next week's episode.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.